The new Fantastic Four movie is not going to be like what everybody thinks it's going to be like. Yes, this is going to be the MCU's Fantastic Four, but we do know, based off of the two posters that Marvel Studios have officially revealed to us, and some hints that they have dropped on the actual Marvel website, plus reports from credible insiders, tell us that this film is not going to take place in the same universe that the Avengers are in. However, that is just the beginning of the excitement of this movie. There are a lot of questions that people have about this, but the big question is, what is their universe like, and what other heroes exist in their universe? Well, according to some recent reports, no heroes exist. No other heroes exist in the Fantastic Four universe, and it's possible that there is an X-Men universe out there where no other heroes besides the X-Men and mutants exist as well. In fact, it's been implied that that universe could be the one that we saw in the post-credit for the Marvels. But what if I told you it's Marvel Studios' plan to fuse these two new universes, the Fantastic Four's universe and the other X-Men universe, with ours for a brand new universe? Well, luckily for us, it sounds like that's what they indeed plan on doing. But first, let's talk about the Fantastic Four's universe. And of course, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of the recent Marvel news. Now, it's important to note that quite a bit of the reports that we've gotten for the new MCU reboot have now pretty much been confirmed, and they were confirmed yesterday by Marvel, which probably means that the other ones that we have also heard from all of the same insiders that haven't been confirmed yet are still probably accurate. And when we got the reports that the Fantastic Four was going to be based in an alternate universe, not the main universe that we've been following, not the 616 universe, but an alternate universe, there were also reports that stated in their universe, in the Fantastic Four's universe, they were going to be the only heroes. No other superheroes are going to exist in their universe. It's simply just going to be the Fantastic Four, and they're going to be super famous. Super famous because they are literally going to be the only heroes. And one thing that I've actually always loved about the Fantastic Four is they don't keep their identity secret. Everyone knows who they are. Reed Richards, Sue Storm / Sue Richards eventually, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. And of course, it's kind of hard to hide if you are indeed the Thing. But I actually commend Marvel Studios for doing this, because it's actually going to make Avengers Secret Wars so much better. Stay with me here, I'll explain. Now, if you didn't catch this, yesterday Marvel Studios, like I mentioned, released an official poster for the Fantastic Four. It showed the Human Torch on it, but in the background, it showed us a cityscape, and the cityscape looks nothing like New York right now in the MCU. This was pretty much our big confirmation that it is indeed set in a different universe, a futuristic universe, a more advanced universe, but also set back in time in the 60s. And that's one reason that the Avengers won't exist in their universe. Even if the Avengers were to come together eventually, they definitely don't do so in the 60s. Captain America was around in the 40s, but he gets frozen and doesn't come out of that till almost 70 years later, so definitely not present during the 60s. However, they could go the route where that doesn't happen at all. Literally, no other heroes could exist besides them. Now, from what we've heard though, the fate of the Fantastic Four might be a little different than the fate of the X-Men, right before Secret Wars, that is. Because I believe that Marvel Studios is going to do the same thing with the X-Men. They're going to be in their own universe. In that universe, the Avengers might not exist. The Fantastic Four might not exist. And again, I think this is really clever because when you have the multiverse finally get destroyed, we're going to see universes collide, and that's where we're going to start to see all of our favorite heroes interact with each other. And I've said this before, some of them are going to get along, but some of them might not. Some of them might actually fight each other, which I do kind of hope happens, like in the Avengers film, where Thor and Iron Man are kind of fighting and Captain America comes in and breaks it up. I hope we get little scenes like that, but maybe even a little bit bigger fights than that. But that brings us to the fate of the X-Men, of the X-Men universe. Currently, Monica Rambeau is in that universe, and we talked about this on one of the live streams, but yes, she is kind of going to be a liaison between the X-Men universe and our main Avengers universe. So her being in the X-Men universe is a big sign that that universe will indeed collide with ours in one way or another. Whether that's literally both of our Earths colliding with each other, or perhaps the reality barrier gets separated and we can literally see into the other universe. That's kind of what began happening at the end of the Marvels until they closed it, which resulted in Monica being left on the other side, even though she clearly could have closed it from our side. But without her doing that, she wouldn't have been left in the X-Men universe, which is major foreshadowing here, which is why I believe that the two Earths of these two universes, the X-Men universe and our main MCU, are going to collide with each other. At this point, it might be shared universes. Maybe both of them don't get completely obliterated. Maybe the X-Men universe goes away, maybe our universe goes away, but either way, the X-Men end up with the Avengers, which is going to be crazy. It's going to be something we're all definitely waiting for at this point in time. But like I mentioned, the Fantastic Four probably share a different fate. I'll explain in just a bit. We'll talk about that in just a bit, but first, big thank you to Factor for sponsoring this video. If you want fresh, nutritious, and extremely great tasting food that you don't have to prepare yourself, that can be ready to eat in just minutes, then Factor is perfect for you. Factor has been a complete game changer for me. They make eating healthy super easy no matter what your diet is, whether it's keto, vegetarian, vegan. If you want to eat protein-focused meals, they have Protein Plus meals. These are chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals designed by dietitians. So every meal you get is packed with premium, science-backed nutritional quality. And Factor makes it so easy for you, it's no wonder why they're America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, with a full menu of over 35 weekly meals to choose from and 60 plus add-ons, including snacks, smoothies, and more. How it works is you literally just pick your meals, they arrive at your doorstep, and all you gotta do is heat them up. Usually takes about 2 minutes, and they are ready to eat. It is that simple. And right now, you can get 50% off your first box of chef-prepared, ready-to-eat meals, plus 2 free wellness shots for life per box with an active subscription. Just go over to factormeals.com/cosmicwonder50 and use code CosmicWonder50. That's factormeals.com/CosmicWonder50. So there have been 2 different reports about how the Fantastic Four could make it from their other universe into our universe. And luckily for us, it appears we know the actual way that the Fantastic Four are going to make that universal jump. You see, originally it was reported that in Deadpool 3, the TVA was going to start to assemble the multiversal Avengers team. They were going to go around different universes that were dying and save certain heroes. However, we have recently heard, as of yesterday, that might not be the case anymore. They made some changes to Deadpool 3 to make it work better for not only Deadpool 3, but for the Multiverse Saga and Avengers Secret Wars as well. We've also been told that they cut quite a bit of cameos out of that. So most likely, this is what got cut. The TVA going to different universes, grabbing a bunch of heroes, and bringing them to one universe. So originally, we thought that the Fantastic Four were going to be taken by the TVA from their universe. They were going to be saved from an incursion happening with their universe, then brought to our universe or brought to kind of a TVA hub where all of these other heroes were going to gather. However, now it looks like Galactus is going to win. We know 2 things right now. Galactus is the main villain along with the Silver Surfer, and the Fantastic Four need to get from their alternate universe into our universe. So how does Galactus make that happen? Well, he wins. It sounds like the Fantastic Four are going to go up against Galactus and the Silver Surfer and not be able to defeat them. And this will lead to the Fantastic Four jumping ship, essentially. They'll leave their universe, which is actually what happens in the comics. In the comics, once it became clear that the multiverse was going to end, in order to survive what was called the final incursion on Earth 616, Reed Richards and the Future Foundation built what was called a life raft. Now, in the comics, it was the Future Foundation and the Illuminati who had this made, although the idea came from Valeria Richards, Franklin Richards, and Sue Storm's daughter. And when talking about getting on the life raft and abandoning Earth, she said, "That's right, we couldn't win, so we came up with the only solution left, not losing." Eventually, the life raft would land on Battleworld, created by Dr. Doom, and I believe that they might do something kind of similar in the Fantastic Four. Now, if they are the only heroes left in that universe, then obviously the Illuminati and others are not going to be a part of whatever life raft that they might build. Instead, they could simply build a universe jumper, and perhaps they could even use the quantum realm to do it. But I believe that basically once they figure out Galactus is going to devour their world and they cannot win, they will figure out a way to jump ship on some sort of a life raft, with the life raft probably being a portal of some sort, whether that's into the quantum realm or directly into our universe or another universe, who knows at this point. But this is most likely how the Fantastic Four are going to get from their universe to ours. And we've heard that Dr. Doom might appear in this as well, and I would like to think that perhaps Dr. Doom would help them build it. He perhaps could realize that their universe could be doomed. And although he probably believes he is just as smart or smarter than Reed Richards Richards, he does know that Reed Richards is insanely smart and is regarded as the smartest man alive. So it would make sense that when he hears about Galactus or the doom of their planet, he would go to him. So perhaps maybe not only the Fantastic Four could leave, but Doctor Doom would escape with them. That's how we could get Doctor Doom in our MCU. Or maybe he already exists in our main timeline. But either way, that is how the Fantastic Four probably get from their universe to ours. Then from there, they deal with the incursion that the Avengers are going to deal with. The incursion with the Fox universe, with the X-Men. And from there, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and the Avengers will all come together. And of course, like I said, they might fight at first, but ultimately, they're going to talk about defeating Kang and restoring the multiverse. However, and I've said this many times, but I don't think they can restore the multiverse to exactly what it was before. And I think that the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and Avengers are going to remain in one universe. We don't know the intricate details, but we basically know that this is going to happen because the new MCU reboot is going to be based off of the multiverse essentially exploding, the multiverse dying, and then some sort of a resurrection, some sort of a reboot. And we know in the new MCU that is coming after Secret Wars, we're going to have the X-Men, we're going to have the Fantastic Four, and a new Avengers team. But from what we've been told, it's not a hard reboot, meaning that some of the Avengers universe is going to be left over in the new one, which is why I believe that they are not going to be able to fully restore the multiverse, only parts of it, or maybe even just one universe. And from then on out, after Secret Wars, that will be the main MCU moving forward. If this is what Marvel Studios decides to do, I personally think this is an incredible idea. I think it's very creative, and I think visually seeing all of this happen, incursions and Galactus, is going to be absolutely insane. But go ahead and let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. And again, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to stay up to date on all the recent MCU news. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're entered in a giveaway for a chance to win a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. The winner gets to pick one item, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.